Howdy, howdy, everyone. It's another week, another Gacha update. So I had said last time that my Gacha interest might shift a bit, but it didn't happen in the way that I expected that it would. I got occupied with more events, there's more stuff to pull for, and once again, I get hit with some more surprise stuff. I thought I checked things, but maybe I just can't read. I don't know. But a good handful of stuff to cover from these past couple weeks, so get comfy and let's get started. So, as usual, the quick stuff first. So with Maid Master, from all the pulls that we had done before, I finally have enough maids to fill out the whole dispatch, like cover all of the dispatch missions. So I think I've been getting more resources now from doing that. But my story progress is on hold still now, because what I've been doing, since I have more characters now, is that have a good handful of like different team compositions outlined. Not just for the video that I was gonna make, but honestly out of just my own curiosity. I started going through and it made me brainstorm different teams for different purposes that I'll be going over at some point. So for now, I'm going to be continuing to farm the XP resources from the resource stage. I want to try and build up all of these characters so I can try out all these things that I've been thinking of. And aside from team comps, just having a good assortment of decent level characters has been helpful, because it helped me finally do a sort of proper obelisk run. I had to scale a few floors. I reached the point where I'm still going to need to have more characters that are higher level, and I might need to try a bit harder in strategically choosing what characters I put in each stage, because I've been mainly just trying to use my lower level characters first, leave the weakest one on that floor, and then keep trying to move up. But in case some people haven't noticed with Obelisk, some of these floors, they have like special conditions or special things going on with the enemies on that floor. So some strategies definitely needed the higher you go up. So I'll keep trying to figure out more stuff with it. And then with Counterside, I was focusing on doing a bit more of the story, and I've made some progress. But I noticed that even though I had said before that my lack of story progress was keeping me from doing the events, it seems like apparently now I can access previous events. I don't know if this is just something that they did with the new Origins update or whatever, but now it seems like old events have all been put into the substream. And I guess you can access everything later on. So is this where events go from now on that have ended? I don't know, that's what it seems like as far as I can tell. But at this point, until I make some substantial progress or some other big collab happens, or maybe probably still approaching this game really slow and casually, poking in for dailies every now and then, try to build up some resources so that way I don't keep missing out on characters like I have been so far. But in the meantime, there probably won't be that many video updates from me on this game. And then with Nikke, the Corona event, or wait, sorry, I have it in my notes as the Corona event, because Biscuit is, she looks like Corona, okay? But anywho, the Biscuit event is here. She's cute, little cute story too, but don't really think I was gonna pull for her at all. I'm honestly kind of in save mode for the time being with Nikke. In fact, speaking of new characters, I was honestly surprised to see that Nihilister, is that how you say it? I was surprised to see that she's gonna be a part of the rehabilitation thing. So yeah, for the time being, I'm probably not going to be pulling in Nikke for a good while. But by the time I'm recording this, we've gone through the Biscuit event, cleared all the stages except the very last one on hard mode, gotten a good amount of resources from the shop, the usual event stuff, you know. And then with the main content, I haven't passed any major points yet with my progress, but my outpost, I think, is looking much better. I'd already said before how it looks less barren than it did before, but even now, I've been building even more stuff, getting more synchro slots too, which is a good thing that I got synchro slots because I finally got help.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Oh man. Dude, I had wanted her for so long, and I got her in friendship pulls, of all things. So, sorry I don't have a recording or anything, but I'm quite happy. Now I just gotta wait for that dress to come back. Oh boy. But I'll keep progressing like usual, keeping that progress going on Quincy. And I don't really know what else is around the bend, aside from Nihilister coming. So we'll see if any other major collabs happen or something. But that should be all the quick stuff. Now for the main games this time around. Alright, so this time starting off the main stuff, we got Arknights. At least for this event, the Dorothy event, Arknights low-key was main game status for me. Just multiple aspects of this event that consumed me in a way. Like, this story, I still don't even fully understand what's going on. In these event missions, good lord, man. I'll admit, I might have got a little too tunnel vision in trying to complete the last stages of this event. At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure I just wasn't strong enough, or at least the units that would have been good for clearing these stages, I didn't have them strong enough yet, so I would have needed to keep grinding, really. But it was one of those things where you're getting really close to beating a stage, and you're just trying to figure out what you're doing wrong, or if you like make a little mistake and it seems like it throws everything off. I don't know. I was just really trying to work with what I could. In fact, even when I was hanging out at a local and the homie tried to do the mission for me, even he suggested that I may just need to just keep building some of my characters more. Which is why when it came to the shop, aside from getting all of the Ask Gene tokens that I could, he really just recommended focusing on getting the money and XP ticket things. So in the last days of these events, that's all I'm really doing is just sweeping the stages that I could pass, and then just clearing out as much as I can in the shop. Focusing on getting the XP and money first, and then I'll see what else I can get. Which, doing this event, as well as just noticing other aspects of the game as a whole, it's really led me to realize that Arknights, it very much feels like a main game. As you guys can probably tell with all the different games that I indulge in, I play gachas very passively. Like, I do dailies in the games that I like, but I gravitate towards the games that aren't very demanding, like in terms of time or like in terms of gameplay. But with this game, you either need a super duper galaxy brain, or you just straight up need to put in the time to grind like a lot to be strong enough for just stuff in general. And because only one of the modes in this game has a sweep system, it makes this game kind of time consuming. With no auto and no quick sweep systems for like the rest of the game's content, like if I didn't have an emulator to do stuff on my PC, like I wouldn't be able to play any other games or do anything else. It seems like eventually this game does have like a pretty noticeable commitment of time. But despite all that, this game does still interest me. Like, it has a really interesting world and characters. After this event, though, I will be doing things at a really slow pace, unless there's another event that catches my interest, and then I'll see what I can do with that. But for now, like I said, we did what we could with this event, and also did what I could in doing polls for Dorothy. So yep, no Dorothy, but we still got some other cool characters to work with. I have my main characters that I'll be focusing on building, but a few characters in there too that I might build just because I like them. But that'll be it for Arknights for the time being. Alright, next up we're talking about Blue Archive again. My quote-unquote break that I said I was going to have, or at least in terms of Blue Archive being a main focus, that didn't happen very long. The Summer Hina event and the banner, the rerun came and left, honestly, really quickly. So quickly, in fact, I forgot to record stuff. And I didn't get the challenge missions done either. But still got a good amount of resources from the shop, clearing it like usual. And then right after that, the Neverland event rerun came too. Which with that came the banner for Shun. Frick, man. I had a real dilemma here, trying to decide whether or not to abandon the plan before saving for Asuna. With this banner opportunity here and all of the resources for Shanghaoling. How do you say that school again? Shanhaijing? Hopefully I said that right. Naturally, with an event centered around Shun and Saya and them, like, you're getting a lot of resources for their school. So I was really tempted here, like, wondering, should I take this opportunity to finally get Shun? And I didn't. Didn't pull for her. And apparently, those of you that saw the poll I put on my community tab, a good handful of you will be glad to know, I guess, that I'm sticking with the plan. We're gonna skip Shun here, I suppose. Hopefully I don't regret this later. The more I was thinking over it, waifu reasons aside, it didn't really feel like I actually need Shun. I don't know, like, how essential she really is for, like, PvE content, or even, like, raids. It seems like a lot of her use is in PvP, primarily. But either way, I'm really gonna want to try and get Bunny Asuna, especially for the Recollection lobby, so I can have another character for the Bunny event music. But either way, with this Neverland event, it was honestly also a really quick and short one, so I barely remembered to do all the story again in time. But just like with the Hina event, I didn't even get around to doing the challenge missions, so I missed out on some more gems there. But mostly cleared out the shop either way. But aside from event stuff, did do some pretty considerable focus on character growth, building up my favorites some more. And part of why I was focusing on building up my favorite characters was because for PvP, I attempted some tomfoolery with Team Fun in the Sun, as I like to call it. I was getting some wins at first, but then once I started getting to the higher ranks, I started getting dumpstered by the meta stuff. But then, after swapping in good old Tsubaki back into the mix, I started getting a little bit of wins again here and there. So this team seems like it might work out moving forward. On defense, I'm still doing my funny tank shenanigans. And those defense coins keep coming in every now and then, so I'm gonna keep it. But from what I've seen, next up will be the first part of the track event. And as you'd figure, I'm gonna skip on those banners. But we'll still be in there grinding out the event and getting all the resources that we can. So that's it for Blue Archive for this one, but we're back in the fold again. So you'll hear more about this game again soon. And last, of course, we got Artery gear. First off, there's this Spring Glimpse event card. Kind of rewards that pop up every now and then where you do dailies, you get this currency to reveal these cards, get all sorts of resources. At the end of this one, there was an outfit for a character. And it's funny, because at first I had no idea who this was. In fact, there was no indication of who it was or any way to check. So going through the roster, I eventually realized that it's for Kurumi. Don't really use her a lot, but it's still a pretty nice outfit to have. And it's free, so we take those. But along with that came the new banners. One for Ayame, the hidden leader of the Sevens. And then another banner for the special version of Mel. I forgot the exact name for the powered up ornament versions of the characters. Like last time we had Fady, and now we have this version of Mel. Both of them are pretty cool. As tempting as it is, though, I don't think I was going to pull for either of them. But then again, I probably should be checking to see if these characters are like limited, or if any banners that have been happening lately are like characters that don't really come back at all, or end up in the standard pool of characters. I guess I'm gonna find out. But the Izumo event finished. And it got a decent amount of resources, but With this event, like Gacha and a Gacha sort of thing, the last round of resources was honestly kind of whack. I could have sworn there was usually like a 5th round with like other stuff to get. This one ended off on the 4th round. But whatever, we take what we can get. And then with that finishing, we got the new Servants of Rashomon event. I had a standard shop with some more resources to get, but this event didn't have a free character to get from the shop at all. It's just resources only. But either way, it was yet another interesting story. It was pretty cool seeing more about the Sevens. They're really interesting characters. In fact, the origin stories honestly surprised me a bit too. It was not what I expected. But at the time of me recording this, I've already gone through and got everything I want from the shop, did all the stages and all that. And so I finally took a shot at some of the other modes that I've been procrastinating on. The suppression of Dark Zone thing, I finally took a shot at the first boss on that. And I cleared it, but then got immediately cooked by the next boss after that. So I definitely still have some gear optimizing to do for sure. And I'm going to need to keep optimizing stuff either way because a new story chapter came out. At this point, with the gaps in the releases for these chapters, and just because of how like thick of a plot and mysterious everything is, I'm honestly going to need a refresher on everything. I need to go back and review stuff every now and then. It probably sounds like I say this about every gacha I play, but Artery Gear's story like genuinely does like intrigue me, and I do think they do a pretty good job of maintaining that air of mystery if they keep slowly revealing stuff through over time. So at this point, it'll be time to go through all the new story content again and really start pushing more to not only getting all of my gear fully optimized and like thoroughly going through and seeing what all I need to keep and reorganize, but also even just my favorite characters, all the characters that I know I'm going to be using the most, really going through, making sure their unique weapons are built up if they're available, making sure I have the right team comps and strategies with assigned gear for tackling different bosses and stuff like that. And now lately I haven't had a shortage of coin currency like I used to, so I should be able to go through and build up a good amount of stuff. But I think it's going to cover everything for Artery Gear for now, at least until I catch a glimpse of the roadmap for whatever may be coming either next month or the month after that. So that's going to be it for this update. So I'm not sure whether or not I was going to hold off an extra week until the next update. If there's some stuff that I missed or other things that come up, I might just try to round it all up at once a couple weeks from now before the next big things for Blue Archive and whatnot. In fact, like usual, let me know if there's anything important I may have missed. But either way, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hope you had a chill time. If you like me, be sure to subscribe. If you want more to see, check out what's next to the Chibi. Links to my social media or anything else I may have mentioned is in the description. That's all for now. Laters.